Okay, here we go. This is Algebra 2, 1.2, Solving Inequalities. All right, so today we're going to start with just kind of a review of solving linear equations. I'll just do the first couple, and then I'll have you guys pause the video and give these a shot. The first one here, we just have a little multi-step equation here. First thing we got to do is combine these like terms. We got one n here, 8 n's over there. We have a total of 9 n's. And then we drop down this -2, drop down the equal sign and the 7. And now we want to isolate this variable, so we want to get rid of this -2. So I want to do the, inverse operation, that's a 2, which is addition. So add 2 on both sides, I'm left with 9n is equal to 9. And we just divide by n, and n equals 1. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Pause the video if you need to. There we go. I'm going to try to write a little bit neater on here because I'm really writing terribly. I'm going to blow this up a little bit more too. Hopefully that will help me write a little bit better. Okay, so here is a version of the problems that we were doing last week. I just didn't give you the least common multiple of our denominators. Okay, so we have 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 again, and then 1. Okay, so we don't even need to worry about that, but we want to find the least common multiple of 4 and 2. So the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12. Multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, but we can stop already because we already have, there we go. We found our least common multiple. It is 4. Okay, and 4 works for 1, obviously, too. So what we're going to do here is multiply this whole thing from here all the way over to here by 4. Okay, then we won't have these ugly fractions. It'll be a lot easier to work with. The key is just do not forget to multiply by this one here. A lot of times students forget to do that. So 4 times -2 is -8a, and then we just go and distribute from here on out. So this is 4 times 9 divided by 4. We're going to get -9 or 9, but then I just drop down the sign. I'm going to drop down this sign. 4 times 3 divided by 2 is 6. And we just keep going. Don't forget to do the other side of the equal sign as well. 4 times 1 divided by 4, that's going to be 1. Drop down that negative, drop down this negative. 4, last one, 4 times 3 divided by 2, we get 6. And don't forget to bring this a with it as well. Okay? So now we've got a much easier problem to work with, right? This would have been super cumbersome to try to work with fractions. You could do it, it'll still work, but it'll just be a lot harder. Okay, so now all we have to do is first we should combine like terms. So we have -8a minus 3 is equal to, on the right side there's no like term, so I can just drop that down. And let's see, I always like to get rid of the smaller of the two coefficients. That way you're dealing with a positive coefficient when you might have to divide or multiply at the end. So if I choose to get rid of this -8, I'll show you guys how this will work. If I have -8a and I decide to add 8a, the reason I do that is once I get over here, -6a plus 8a, we get positive 2a. And so every time you get rid of the smaller of the two coefficients, right, -8 is smaller than -6, you're going to be left with a positive coefficient, right? And so that just might save you the mistake later of dividing by a negative to solve, okay? You don't have to, but it just might help. So let's drop down everything we didn't use, just kind of update the problem. We get -3, equal sign, -1. This is positive. Let's make sure we put that sign in between. So now if I put the variable on the right side, put the constants on the other, so I'm going to get rid of this -1, adding 1, add 1, and I get, oops, that ain't right, -2. This side cancels. I'll drop down this 2a, and then we just divide by 2, divide by 2, and I'm left with a is equal to -1. All right. Hopefully you guys wrote a little bit smaller than I did. Not a great job there. What I want you guys to do is pause pause the video and attempt 3, 4, and 5, and I'll give you the answers here in a second because this is just a quick little review. Okay, so hopefully you got for number 3, should have gotten n is equal to 4. Let's see for number 4. Ooh, kind of an ugly answer here. You might have thought it was wrong, but it is not. You get -11/2. And number 5, hopefully you multiply this whole thing by 6, right? Because that's the least common multiple of 3 and 2. And eventually you should have gotten k is equal to 2. Okay. All right, let's move on to, that's just kind of some review. Let's move on to what we're actually working on today. So there are 4 symbols we use to represent inequalities. What are they? We have less than, and that looks like this. We've got greater than, that looks like this. Less than or equal to is kind of like half an equal sign underneath, just a line underneath. And then greater than or equal to. All right. And so we always want to read the inequality from the variable, okay? So if I have x on the left side, I want to say x is less than or equal to 21, okay? This is red. X is less than or equal to 21, all right? Whereas this one here, D is on the right side, but we still want to read it from the variable. So this is going to be D is greater than 3. All right, C is going to be Y is less than 1. And then the last one here, again, we're reading it from the variable, so it's V is, the mouth is eating the other number, right? So V must be smaller, so V is less than or equal to. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This should all be pretty much review here. Just remember, it seems a little bit elementary, but the easiest way to do this is just remember the mouth wants to eat the bigger number. Okay, so I am going to actually pause this video on my end. I'm going to put some steps on here to help you guys solve. I'm going to do the steps for solving this. Okay, hopefully this image popped up in here for you. So we've got the steps for graphing inequalities. First thing we want to do is circle the number that you're comparing. Step 2, determine if the circle is open or closed. And 3, draw the arrow. Okay, it's as easy as that. So let's take a look of some examples of that. So number 1, it's x something, something -3. Okay, I'm gonna say that I don't really know what that is yet. So I'm comparing x to -3, so I'm gonna circle it. Okay, now number 2, determine if it's open or closed. And the only thing that matters on is there a line underneath this or not? There is not. So this is going to be an open circle. All right, and now we just want to think about this in terms of which is the mouth eating. All right, so the mouth is eating the x, not the -3. So the x must be bigger. Bigger numbers are to the right. So we want to make this line going all the way this way. Okay, so this means x can be any number bigger, but not included to -3. Okay, let's try another one. So let's circle the number that we're comparing. That is 1. Determine if it's open or closed. There is a line underneath here, so it is a closed circle. All right, and now We just kind of say, all right, the mouth is eating the x, right? So that must mean the x is bigger, and bigger numbers are to the right. Okay? All right. Compound inequality. So, let's see. Yeah, we'll do a couple of those, and then we'll start the next video on the next page. So, compound inequalities. This is where x can be either um, or in between. So, let's first circle the two numbers that we're comparing. So we got -4 and 2. All right, and then we determine if the circle, or circles in this case, are opened or closed. So this one on this side, it has the line underneath, so this one is closed. But this one here is not closed. So this one is open because there's no line underneath. Okay, and so now we have x, the mouth here for this one here, the mouth is eating the x, so it's bigger than -4, so we're going this way. And then on the other side, x is less than 2. So for here, it would be going this way. So basically what this is saying is that x can be any number in here up to and including -4 all the way up to 2, but not including 2. Okay? All right, last one, and then you guys can work on some practice problems. So number 4, we got x is less than -1, so we're going to circle -1, and we're going to circle +1 as well. Determine if they're open or closed. No line, it's open. Line is closed. All right. Okay, so now let's see what we got here. X is less than -1, so the mouth is eating the -1. That must mean that x is smaller than -1. Smaller numbers are to the left. Okay, and now on this side here, we have x is greater than -1. Okay, so this one, the mouth is eating the x. That means x must be bigger. Bigger numbers are to the right. Okay, so I'm running out of time on this video, so you could work on practice problems 1 through 8, or you can just check out my second video and get all the notes in before you start tackling the 18 practice problems. All right, we'll see you in the next video.